What's going on, fam? This is Crazy Kent here, and today I'm here to bring you guys another Out of the Panels review. So, I've been thinking that 2021 has been quite the year for He-Man, hasn't it? First, we had a Masters of the Universe series that has been widely hated out of anything out of the Masters of the Universe franchise, a TV series also made by Netflix, which is getting a lot of praise, and a slew of toys that I shall decorate my Fortress of Solitude with. But before Netflix decided to do anything with the franchise, DC Comics would have a hand in making comic books based on He-Man years prior. So imagine my surprise when I was scoping around in the library comics section and I would stumble upon this little gem. What? For those of you that don't know, this was based off of the Injustice video game series that was developed by NetherRealm Studios and published by Warner Brothers Games. The first game, Injustice Gods Among Us, tells the story of a different Earth in the DC universe where Superman kills Joker for making him kill his wife, Lois Lane. This made Superman go mad with power, where he becomes a dictator and decides to enslave the Earth, with Batman forming a resistance to stop him and to put an end to his reign. It was then followed up with a sequel, Injustice 2, where the heroes reunite in order to stop Brainiac from destroying the Earth, that ended with a strange choice between both endings. There's Batman's ending, where he stops Superman and imprisons him in the Phantom Zone, and then there's Superman's ending, where he crushes Batman's resistance and uses Brainiac's technology to not only brainwash Batman, but to take over the world.
Of course!
Yeah, with a video game story like that, I have to admit, it was definitely an interesting leap to take something from the Injustice storyline and try to work it into a He-Man story out of anything in the world. But then again, this came out literally after the Masters of the Universe just had their crossover with the Thundercats, and way before Batman crossed over with the likes of Ninja Turtles and Spawn. So I really shouldn't be surprised with all these crossovers at this point. But nevertheless, my interests were piqued, and I decided that I was going to give this one a shot and take a look at it and see if it holds up. So let's not waste any time, let's dive right into Injustice versus Masters of the Universe. So the writer behind this book is Tim Seeley, who's known for his other works such as the Grayson and Nightwing series, and has even written some G.I. Joe stories, including G.I. Joe vs. Transformers. He's also the co-creator of the Hack, Slash, and Revival series, and even one of the many writers for the Batman Eternal and the Batman and Robin Eternal series. The artist behind the comic is Freddie Williams II, who's done some amazing work for the He-Man and Thundercats series and the awesome Batman TMNT series. And let me just say that Williams' artwork is awesome as hell. I really don't know much about art itself, but ever since I've read Batman TMNT, I fell in love with this artwork. It's hard to explain, but it's kind of like Jim Lee's artwork, but with a bit of oomph to it, you know what I'm saying? But let me know what y'all think about the artwork in the comments below. So the story takes place after the events of Injustice 2 during the alternate ending, where Superman uses Brainiac's technology to rebuild the regime, take over the planet, and even enslave Batman. And if that wasn't asshole enough for you, he even banished his own cousin Supergirl to the Phantom Zone.
What an asshole!
Bro, this is exactly why Regime Superman is a prick, yo. So, in order to take on Superman, the new Batman, aka Damian Wayne, has formed a new resistance, and with the help of Swamp Thing, managed to travel through dimensions and make their way to Eternia. The plan? To recruit the most powerful man in the universe, He-Man. And while He-Man is helping out the Resistance and fight off Superman, Darkseid also invades Eternia, searching for the anti-life equation, with Man-at-Arms, Starfire, Cyborg, and the rest of the Masters of the Universe defending Castle Grayskull. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. As crazy as this story is, and as awesome as this story is, I'm gonna be real and say that this story can be kinda silly when you think about it. What? Like every other DLC story from the Injustice and Mortal Kombat games. Pretty much played off as a what-if story. It doesn't really take itself all that seriously, and it already knows what it is. It's something for the fans to enjoy. It's just basically a throwdown between He-Man and Superman. That's all it's gonna be. And that's kind of the biggest problem there is for me, is that there's really no story as much as there's more beatdowns in it. While I do enjoy the fighting that's going on in each panel and seeing familiar characters fighting one another, this just feels like a DLC that NetherRealm wanted to throw into the games. And I get it, the whole point is to see He-Man and Superman just throw down, but the part of me wishes that there was more that they could add to the characters and make them flesh out a bit more, you know what I'm saying? And what's worse is that the only time that we ever got to see that was when Prince Adam had a self-reflection moment of what kind of leader that he wants to be for the people of Eternia. And then we only had a small moment with Damien when he had a moment with Adam when he reflects on his actions that led up to this point and how he wants to make amends. You know, like killing Dick Grayson. You f***ing prick. But these moments don't really last all that long, and they get swept under the rug or tossed to the side just to move the plot along, and that kind of sucks for me, because I would really love to know what made Damien and Cyborg turn against Superman in the first place and now fight with the Resistance just to overthrow him. Or hell, for that matter, since when can Swamp Thing and Mossman travel through dimensions? What the hell's the Parliament of Trees? Okay, what's going on, fam? This is future Crazy Kent, and I'm just here to let you know I did a bit of research, and apparently the green is a different dimension to where, like, it's composed of plant life that make up the Parliament of Trees, to where certain people who have connection with plants can literally, you know, communicate with the green through. So that's what they were talking about, and because comic books are really weird, I guess this makes sense on how they travel through different dimensions. So, I mean, there you go. So now we jump into the characters, and usually this is the part where I introduce the characters, but let's be real here, there's so many characters for me to name, and I'm not going to go down the whole list. I'm just going to go ahead and name the heavy hitters right now. We got Superman, we got Wonder Woman, we got He-Man, we got Teela, we got Man-at-Arms, we got Cyborg, we got Batman. Pick your roster of characters, let's see who throws down. But let's talk a little bit more about the characters. For one, I love how they kept their characters to match with the games as well as the Masters of the Universe TV series. And I also love how they bring in different characters from both universes to fight one another, like I said before. But man, oh man, do some of these characters feel like canon fodder. Like literally, there are some characters that show up in the book itself that they barely even do anything. Like you just see them in the background and they just show up for cameo. Or there are characters that show up like Deathstroke and Lobo that you think are going to be a threat and you think are gonna do something, but then they just, you know, get their asses beaten in the next panel and then you don't see them ever again. And the ones that we're supposed to focus on don't really give me any reason to care about them at all. But what am I thinking? This is a fighting game, for Christ's sake. There's no such thing as feelings. And I know how a lot of people hated Teela's character in the Revelation show, but bruh, could you imagine what would happen if we got the Teela that we got in this comic itself? Like, this is a lady that literally will pull a Red Sonja and slice your head off without a second thought. Hell, she stabbed Wonder Woman in the back and left her bleeding out. Bruh. Imagine if we had this Teela in Revelations. Bruh, she would probably like be the most scariest woman in the goddamn world. Like, bruh.
I love the kind of woman that can kick my ass.
So let's move on to the artwork. And as I said earlier, the artwork,
A genius!
I can't really put it into words, but what else can I say about the artwork but just look at it. It's so awesome. If there's one thing I can't say about the artwork that literally pops out at you, I love the character design. Masters of the Universe just try to adapt to the Injustice universe and having different outfits and whatnot. And some of the battles and the large scale that they're in is so awesome to look at. Like seeing like the forces of Apocalypse go up against the forces of Eternia is like, bruh, I'm hanging this on my wall. That's how awesome this shit is. But I got one for you better. He-Man with the powers of I don't care if this is canon or not. Seeing He-Man in the form of Shazam is the coolest fucking thing out of this entire damn comic. I don't even care anymore. I don't care about the battle anymore. Was there a battle? I don't even care. Look at this. It's He-Man with the powers of Shazam. We need to make a comic book series based on that, bro. Like, come on. No. I don't care if it is not canon. Make it happen. DC, make it this happen, please. Please. I need this. I need this. Whew. Sorry, I need to calm down a bit. Oh boy. Jeez. But anyway, I know this has been a really short review, guys, and I'm really sorry about that, but that should tell you just how short this comic was, and that's how much of material I had to work with. So now we move on to my final thoughts about the book, and I can honestly say that it's cool that they can make a crossover with two different properties that you never expect would collide with each other. But despite the awesome artwork, the character designs, and the awesome fights, the book kind of lacked a structured story and lack of character development. And I understand, this is a 6-issue miniseries and this isn't supposed to be canon or something that should be taken like at face value, but it would be much better if it had more substance to it, you know? Like, give me more bang for my buck, you know what I'm saying? Just give me something to where I can sit here and be satisfied with the comic I'm reading, for Christ's sakes. Hell, even when I made it to the ending, it felt so half-assed. Like, I was sitting here like, what the hell was this? What did I sat here and read through for these past like minutes? I wasn't even expecting much from it, but at the same time, I wish it would have just given me something to where I could just sit here and say that I enjoyed this comic for what it was. But it didn't. It just felt like I was sitting here reading through a He-Man story script that they were writing for Injustice 2. This isn't even a comic book. This is a DLC in comic book form. Yeah, I said it. Even though it's cool as hell to watch characters beat the ever-living shit out of each other, I'm gonna call it what it is. It is basically an Injustice 2 DLC with literally none of the playability. And if the fighting is all you care about, then this is the DLC for you to download. That's all I got for this review. Like I said, it's short. This thing didn't even give me much to work with. I'm sorry. But anyway, guys, that's all I got to say about this. What do you think about it? Have you read Injustice vs. Master of the Universe? What you think about it? Do you think it's pretty cool? Do you think they can make a game based around it? Or would you rather see a TV show or a movie based around it? Whatever's better than that Injustice movie, it is fine by me. But hey, whatever you think, leave it down in the comments below and let me know. And also don't forget to like and share this video because that helps out my channel. Anyway, I'm Crazy Ken. Happy reading. Peace.